Thank you, Mr. General, for being here. It's good to see you again.
Thank you, Senator Manchin.
Sir, I'm going to follow up a little bit on what Senator King had asked concerning. You and I are about the same vintage. We remember back in our lifetime, we've never known the Russians to be, the Russian government or the Russian military to ever be our friend, and wanting the same things we wanted, we wanted out of life. With that being said, the seriousness of this Russian hacking is very serious to me and concerning. And you're saying that you had not been briefed on that. I think it was October 9th, when it was known that the ODNI at that time, I think Mr. Clapper and also Mr. Jay Johnson, Homeland Security, made that public, what was going on. Then on December 29th, President Obama at that time expelled 35 Russian diplomats, denied access to 2 Russian-owned compounds, and he broadened the existing sanctions. Sir, I would ask, did you have any discussions at all? Have you had any discussions or sat in on any type of meetings where recommendations were made to remove those sanctions?
I don't recall any such meeting.
And during the time, not from the President being inaugurated on January 20th, prior to that, in the campaign, up until through the transition, was there ever any meetings that he showed any concern or consideration or just inquisitive of what the Russians were really doing and if they really done it?
I don't recall any such conversation. I'm not sure I understood your question. Maybe I better listen.
Well, you were part of the national security team, so if he would have heard something about Russia and with their capabilities and our concern about what they could do to our election process, was there ever any conversations concerning that whatsoever?
I don't recall it, Senator Manchin.
I know it's been asked of you, the things that, your executive privileges in protecting the president. I understand that. But also when we had Mr. Comey here, he couldn't answer a lot of things in an open session. He agreed to go into a closed session. Would you be able to go into a closed session? Would it change your answers to us or your ability to speak more frankly on some things we would want to know?
Senator Manchin, I'm not sure. The executive privilege is not waived by going in camera or in closed session. It may be that one of the concerns is that when you have a investigation ongoing, as the special counsel does, it's often very problematic to have persons not cooperating with that counsel in the conduct of the investigation, which may or may not be a factor in going into closed session.
It would be very helpful. I think the committee, there's a lot of questions they like to ask, and I know that you would like to answer if possible, and maybe we can check into that a little further. If I could, sir, did you have any meetings, any other meetings with Russian government officials that have not been previously disclosed?
I do. I have racked my brain, and I do not believe so.
Are there any other?
I can assure you that none of those meetings discussed manipulating a campaign in the United States in any way, shape, or form, or any hacking or any such ideas.
I'm going to go quick through this. Are there any other meetings between Russian government officials and any other Trump campaign associates that have not been previously disclosed that you know of?
I don't recall any.
To the best of your knowledge, did any of the following individuals meet with Russian officials at any point during the campaign? You can just go yes or no as I go down through the list. Paul Manafort?
Repeat that now.
To the best of your knowledge, sir, did any of these following individuals meet with Russian officials at any point during the campaign? And you can just be a yes or no on this. Paul Manafort?
I don't have any information that he had done so. He served as campaign chairman for a few months.
Steve Bannon?
I have no information that he did.
General Michael Flynn?
I don't recall it.
Reince Priebus?
I don't recall.
Steve Miller?
I don't recall him ever having such a conversation.
Corey Lewandowski?
I do not recall any of those individuals having any meeting with Russian officials.
Carter Page?
I don't know.
And I would finally ask this question because I always think we try to get, you have an innate knowledge.
There may have been some published accounts of Mr. Page talking with Russians. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't recall.
As a former senator, you bring a unique, holistic perspective to this investigation. because you've been on both sides.
I have indeed.
If you were
all
sitting,
in all, it's better on that side.
if you were sitting on this side of the dais, okay, here
Nobody gets to ask you about your private conversation with your staff.
Well, here we go. Get your chance to give us some advice. If you were sitting on this side of the dais, what question would you be asking?
I would be asking whether or not, I would be asking questions related to whether or not there was an impact on this election.
And what part of the story do you think we're missing?
By foreign power, particularly the Russians, since the intelligence community is suggested and stated that they believe they did. But I do think members of this government have offices to run.
Is there a part of the story we're missing?
And they, the question should be focused on that.
Yeah, is there a part of the story we're missing? I'm so sorry, Mr. Chairman. Is there a part of the story we're missing?
I don't know because I'm not involved in the campaign and had no information concerning it. I have no idea at what stage it is. You members of this committee know a lot more than I.
Thank you, General Sessions.
General Sessions, I will assure you we are very much focused on Russia's involvement. And
Doesn't seem like it.
our hope is that as we complete this process, we will lay those facts out for the American people so they can make their own determinations.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.